Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam. Today we are testing more new makeup for the month of November/December. We have a lot going on here. Lots of eyeshadow palettes, lots of lip products, just tons of stuff that I want to go through because it's the end of the year. I'm getting ready to film all of those best of series, best of foundations, best of eyeshadow palettes, best of lipsticks if that's what you want to see. So definitely let me know what you do want to see. For now, we are going to test out some more newness. So remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into this video, testing more new makeup and creating a look. Here we come. So my foundation is already on. Today I'm wearing the Lawless Conceal the Deal Clean AF foundation that I really like. There haven't been too many new foundation products or just like anything in the skin category. There's no concealers. There's really only one powder that I have here, but I already powdered down my face, so can't test this one. Sorry, Jouet, but thanks for the champagne. Let's begin. First and foremost, we have this new blush aesthetic palette from Lauralee Los Angeles. The packaging is really, really cute. It definitely gives me aesthetics. It's definitely giving me vibes. Very blushing, very California vibes with the palm trees. Just like nice and ethereal. I like that. Blush aesthetic is your cheek's new best friend. Cool. This is what the palette looks like. Ooh, this is embossed. This is nice. And this is my first time looking at the blushes. There are 8 of them. The colors are very stunning, very universal, something that would fit a lot of different skin tones, a lot of different undertones. And I've heard really good things about this palette. A lot of people seem to have been liking it. So I am going to test it out. So for today, I'm gonna go with a couple of different shades. I wanna play around and create a multi-dimensional blush look. So I'm gonna use my Persona Cosmetics blush brush. Whew, said it right today. I'm gonna go for something a little bit different for me. How about this shade here called Caramel Cream? It's like a dusty, plummy, cool shade. I'm gonna add that kind of like on the lower slope of my cheekbone, if you know what I mean. So like not the height of the cheekbone, but like the non-height. Oh God, that makes no sense, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Basically, I'm applying it below the highest point of the cheek, almost in a contour style. And then I'm kind of just raising that up into the temples like that. This shade is very, very pretty on me because I am a very warm skin tone. And generally I find that cooler blush tones pop on warm skin tones. So don't be afraid of cool blushes. They will just make you look visually brighter. You see that? And if you are a warm skin tone, a warm blush will be just a little bit more natural looking on you. So if you are a cool skin tone, it's vice versa. A warm blush will make your face or your skin, your complexion pop, and a cool blush will look more natural if you're a cool skin tone. Does that make sense? It's like opposite. I'm gonna go for a little bit of both. So I did cool on the downward slope of my cheekbone, and now on the high point of my cheekbone, I wanna do something warm. So for the warm tone, let's do Peach Fuzz, because this is very, very warm and inviting, very peachy. And I really just wanna be able to add that on top, like very close to my temple, very close to my under eye. This will also visually draw the attention away from your dark circles if you have any, and kind of towards the temple. So it's just like a nice blush technique. I don't know why I decided to share some blush techniques today, but I guess when I see a blush palette, I don't just want to use one shade, you know? I want to be able to create something unique. I'm also going to take just a little bit of that Peach Fuzz, a little bit of that Caramel Cream, add a pinch to the nose, and kind of like blend that like so for a very modern blushing look. Oh, I just noticed there's also a highlighter shade in here. That's pretty nice. And also like a really, really pale shade called Bridal Pink. This is something that you could probably highlight with if you want a matte highlight, or if you're very fair, that could be a blush color for you. But anyway, that is the blush aesthetic by Lauralee Los Angeles. Moving right along to another face palette. This one is from Pure X NABELA. NABELA Noor is a big influencer. I believe she is Bengali. I believe she's very vocal about her culture, about representation. So I'm excited for this palette. This is what it looks like inside. I do see there's some blush shades in here as well. Also some eyeshadow shades. Also a couple of highlighter shades. Off the bat, this looks very, very wearable to me. Very neutral, but pretty tones. I kind of really like this blush shade. It's called Masala Sunset. I love the names. Ooh, we've got Bangle, we've got Shanti, we've got Noor. I like the names. Thinking for my highlighter, I'm gonna reach for one of these shades, perhaps Noor. So same blush brush from Persona Cosmetics, just the other side. I'm gonna reach for this shade here. Ooh, feels very, very pigmented. A little bit of kickback there. Very, very soft. A very subtle highlighter. So this isn't something that is super duper blinding, but more just like everyday, very wearable, just like a subtle hint of glow. I like that. All right, we're gonna set that aside. I may dip into that a bit later. For now, let's look at some eyeshadow palettes, shall we? We shall. Let's go. All right, so starting with ColourPop, we've got the Smoke and Roses, almost like Guns N' Roses. See what they did there? But Smoke and Roses palette, and this is similar to the Stone Cold Fox palette, I believe it's called Warm and Neutrals palette. Basically, it's one of the larger palettes from ColourPop. Ooh, what is this, like 30 shades, all very rosy toned, but also some neutrals too. There's a black, there's lots of shimmery shades, there's some cream shades, there's some taupey gray shades, some pinky, some rosy, some champagne-y shades. This is the vibe. I don't know if you guys are into this vibe, but I've been seeing it a lot lately. It doesn't really feel super fresh to me, and also it's not really a color story that I'm personally drawn to. I feel like rosy tones are a little bit harder to work with than say lavender tones or say peachy tones. Rosy is just like a little bit, I don't want to say intimidating, but there's a challenge. There's like a learning curve with rosy tones and applying them to the eye. But anyway, that's one of the contenders, and it's a new palette that I definitely want to test out. Okay, speaking of ColourPop, we also have tons more new palettes. Like there's these quad palettes from the Good for Hue collection. So I'm thinking these, I may save for like gifts or for stocking stuffers. I'm not really like a huge fan of quad eyeshadows just because I'd rather have a larger palette that I can play around with. But anyway, I'm gonna set that aside for now. Also, from the same collection, we have the Nude Notes pressed powder palette, and these are 5-pan palettes, and there's 5 of them. I mean, literally, I feel like I get 3 packages a week just from ColourPop alone. They just seem to come out with collection after collection. There's a lot. There's a lot. They're doing the most. I'm not done. We have 4 more palettes from ColourPop, and this is from the Charmed I'm Sure collection, which includes 4 new 9-pan pressed powder palettes with buttery matte and shimmering metallic finishes. Cool. So I'm actually gonna open these up just to see what they look like. Okay, we have more rosy tones. This is just like a little bit more pink than rosy, and this is the Glam Right palette. Next, we have the Lock It Down. So cute. Lock It Down, get it? And this is like an amethyst, purple tones, very bejeweled in the amethyst family type of palette. Next, we have Charm School. Ooh, and this is like your smoky palette. It's got some smoky gray tones, some nudie browns, some champagne and gold shades. I don't know why I even say ooh. It's not like I have not seen this color combo before, but I guess it's the one that I'm the most drawn to. And the final one from all 4 is Bling Time. Ooh. And here I go with ooh again. Bling Time is a neutral but peachy leaning palette. So I like this. I feel like it's very wearable for warm skin tones because this is something that would look very neutral and very everyday on warm skin tones, but with like a bit of a pop with these brighter peachy shades. Also, there's like a pretty glitter shade in there. So we've got some variety. We've got some cream gel liners or maybe gel eyeshadows also from ColourPop. And last but not least, we've got pressed glitter shadows also from ColourPop. Listen, I'm not complaining. I will never say no to PR. I appreciate all the PR. These glitter shadows are actually quite interesting. One is like an asphalt color. The other one is a little bit more festive. Like I see some flecks of pink, purple, teal, blue, and rosy. And that's just the eyeshadow category. We have so much more from ColourPop. Next up, we have a new collection from Dominique Cosmetics, and it's from the Unconditional Collection. And this is Kristen and her mom over here. And there was like another photo with her son Jaden. So it's very sweet. It's all about just like love and about family. I thought it was really touching for the season. And the colors of the palette are also very stunning, very wine tone shades. The palette itself is just like very chic and sophisticated looking. Oh, I love this. Again, very neutral, very wearable. wearable, but with a couple of pops, a glitter pop and also just like a wine berry pop. So that's what we have in the palettes category, but we also have some liquid shadows. Number one, we have liquid shadows from TRESLUCE, and this was just so visually pleasing to me that I didn't even want to get rid of this cardboard box. I wanted to show you just like this because it is just so pretty. I'm loving the blue shades, and I kind of want to go for blue today just because this week is Hanukkah, and although, you know, I'm not someone who is a religious person, I'm not even really into, never mind, let me not even get into that. My family is very mixed. We celebrate all holidays, and so why not? Let's do Hanukkah colors. So here I'm seeing that there are some really, really beautiful bluesy tones. Also some really pretty gold tones, some purples. But first, I definitely need a primer of some sort. So let me go for my Fenty Beauty Primer, just like that. I feel like it's been a minute since I've actually applied eye makeup. I think for Thanksgiving, I ended up wearing just like one shade, which was the Lip Bar Girl Next Door glittery eyeshadow from my previous video. And it was like super easy, but it's been, I think, at least a week since I've applied actual eyeshadow onto my face. I'm going to reach for this ColourPop Charm School palette because I like the shades. Yes, we've seen them 100 times, but I like these shades. I'm gonna go for this shade here called I'm Sure, which is like a nudie. And with a pencil brush, I'm going to etch out a crease. Not super precisely, but just enough to be noticeable, like that. And the same thing on the other eye. Boom. Then I'm gonna take this gray shade on the same brush. This one's called That's a Wrap. And I'm going to extend my outer corner and kind of meet with that top shape, but then I'm going to create a triangle and blend them into each other. So basically I want the outer corner to be gray, but the inner portion of that crease, I want it to be nude or light brown. See, whenever I try new makeup, I never really think about the final look. But today I know that I'm gonna be going to my brother and sister's house. We're gonna be lighting some candles, you know, and so I don't know, I kind of want to be just like a little bit more festive. So there's intent in my look today. The intent is to get a compliment, I'll be real. But like, I don't want to go too overboard with my look, you know, because we're still just gonna have a family dinner. I'm not trying to make anyone feel underdressed. You know, I'm gonna take that same shade and just line the outer portion of my lower lash line like that. I've got just like a bit of fallout here, but overall I think these two eyeshadows are so far pretty nice. But generally speaking, I find that ColourPop eyeshadows are either a hit or miss. Either they're nice or they're just okay, but for the price, I guess they're pretty nice. So this is the map out of the look. This is what we're working with so far. I don't want to make it any bigger than what it is at the moment. Next thing I'm gonna do is test out these liquid shadows from TRESLUCE. I'm really intrigued. I like how they look. So what I'm gonna do is reach for this first shade. This one is called Diamante. I'm gonna add just a little bit right here in the inner portion of my lid. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna take a conceal brush. This one's from Dulce Colors. And I'm just gonna spread that. So essentially I cut the crease and now I'm just gonna spread that down because I don't want it to be too bright, you know? Okay, so this shadow is okay. I am thinking probably easier to spread it with a finger than it is with a brush, but it's not super smooth, you see? Like either you gotta work with it really quickly or you just gotta leave it alone. But so far that looks okay to me. Like I kind of like the way that it looks. But that's it, it's just like set there. You can't really maneuver it too much more. All right, glad I'm working with one eye at a time. Let's do the next one. Just gonna apply that and then I'm gonna spread that quickly with a brush just to make sure that the edge is really nice and neat, and then quickly work with my finger because the warmth of the finger kind of helps to melt it a little bit further, even though my finger is so cold right now because it's freezing in this room suddenly. Oh yeah, because it's freezing outside, that's why. Okay, so that looks interesting. I'm not gonna say this is like the best liquid eyeshadow that I've ever tried. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. But anyway, I'm still like trying to go for the blue, so I'm gonna reach for the next blue shade. This one is called Crystal Mint. Oh, and it looks so pretty in the tube. Honestly, these are speaking to me today. I'm gonna apply that like a little bit closer to the center, but I'm really just like trying to blend them into each other to create a bit of a gradient and just like something more interesting. I hope I'm doing it justice, but that so far looks pretty to me. Same, just like not the worst, not the best, not the easiest to use. You kind of got to move quickly. There's a bit of a learning curve, but as with everything. Okay, so now we have a very bright lid happening, but I really want to reach for this shade Aquamarine. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna up my whole makeup look right now or not, but this is really what I want to go for. So I'm gonna try to apply that to the outer portion in a diagonal like that, and then work it in with my finger just to blend. This is a better quality eyeshadow than the previous two. It's a little bit easier to blend and it feels a little finer, so that's good, but they're not perfect again. All right, let's do the same thing on the other eye. Just applying that on a diagonal and blending that with my little finger here. Maybe needs a little more here. Okay, not bad, not great. Not bad. Definitely like a little bit more mermaidy than the Festival of Lights that I was going for, but that's okay. There's one more shade in here. It's called Esmerelda, and this one's like a greener, bluer aquamarine. Also has some purple tones. I'm not sure I need this, but I'm gonna apply a little bit just to see. Okay, yeah, so this one's definitely a bit greener, so I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, so this is what we have happening on the lids. It's cute if I look down, not so cute if I open my eyes. So what am I to do? Only thing left to do is to try to make some sense of it, try to make this look good. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this MAC PowerPoint eye pencil in this gunmetal shade called You Never Know. Oh, You'll Never Know, because it is from their holiday collection. And I'm going to actually just darken the outer portion of all of this, just like that. Kind of just like complete the gradient, but with a pencil. So the sharp edge that we had happening here will be no longer. Now it's just gonna be slightly more blended, like that. Same pencil brush. I'm just gonna blend that pencil very, very quickly into the shadow, into the liquid shadow, trying very hard not to create a mess. Yeah, gonna dip into that gray shadow real quick, and I'm thinking I need just a bit more of that right here in the crease, just to surround this whole situation. And of course, same thing here. You know when liquid shadows have this like hard, crinkly finish? This is what these are reminding me of. The colors are so stunning, but the quality, unfortunately, just isn't fine enough to really blend out. It has that crinkly feeling that I don't really like. That doesn't really look good on most lids, but I don't know, I think I'm making it work somehow. I'm gonna grab a clean brush and this lighter shade called Romper. This one has some gold flecks, but it's lighter than the previous two, so I'm just gonna use it to blend. A little bit on the lower lash line, whisking away any fallout. Massive cat hair in my eye, and then repeating the same thing on the other side. Just blending that gray into the brow bone using the pale tan shade. Pale tan shade sounds like an oxymoron. Let's just call it a nude shade. Blending that into the brow bone, cleaning up that edge here, and adding that to the lower lash line. Okay, still a bit mermaidy, still a bit amateurish, but we're working on it. Still a bit crinkly over here, but I think I can fix it. I'm gonna grab a black liquid liner. Ironically, it's also from TRESLUCE, and it's not waterproof, so I am not like super in love with this formula, but it's what I have handy, so that is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna etch out a wing, like that. And then I'm gonna etch out another wing. And then of course I'm gonna do that same thing that I do to every single eyeshadow look whenever I feel like it's not going my way. With my eyes open, I am going to create an extra little wing. Just kind of like surrounding the whole lid area and just like making it a little bit more dramatic. This way, everything looks intentional, but it also hides all the imperfections. This is like my forever trick. We're feeling slightly better about ourselves. I am going to add a funky little dot right here just to like balance out the look a little bit. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go back to my REM Beauty or REM Beauty lashes from Ariana Grande, but first I do want to curl my lashes just really quickly, and also the bottoms. I'm gonna use this Cali Ray Mascara. Been liking this one. It's pretty decent and it's super clean. It doesn't necessarily make my lashes long or anything like that, but it's great to blend with falsies, especially the ones that I'm about to put on. And it's great to just like add that little base. So now for the lashes. Remember when I told you when I first tried these in my REM Beauty review that these are perfect to just dress up the look without covering up anything? So this is exactly why I'm choosing to go for these today. And this is my second time using them. So they're already cut. So while one dries, I'm just gonna apply the other. I'm gonna disguise the band just a little bit. Is it me, or are the eyes looking very mod, like very 60s? Can't say I'm mad. Okay, so let's move on. I have a bunch of new lip colors from ColourPop, of course, also from Lunar Beauty, also from Jouer, also from Pure X NABELA, and also from Dominique Cosmetics. So I'm gonna open up all of those. We've got a cream shade. This one's looking right. From Dominique Cosmetics, this one's called Dulce. Okay, so Dulce is a contender. Well, honestly, so is this lip crayon from Pure X NABELA. All right, we've got lip glosses, and I'm not really feeling lip glosses at the moment. I'm not in a lip gloss mood. Let's see. We also have this Lippy Pencil Vault from ColourPop, and these are all lip liners. There's 10 of them, ranging from berry tones to browns to a couple of nudes here. We also have a Color Stix Vault. There are 8 of those, and it's called In the Bear. So this is a neutral Color Stix Vault. Last but not least, we have another Lippie Stix Vault, but this one includes 10, and these are all like red tones, pink tones, and some nudes as well. I see, so these are not actually Lippie Stix. The first collection, In the Bear, is like a nudes eyeshadow sticks, and then the second one is more of the Lippie Stix that I was thinking of. I really like ColourPop's Lippie Stix. The shade Cookie is looking quite right to me. I'm gonna have to go for that. Brink Cami? No, this one's cute too. All right, so I am between Dulce and Cookie, but I do a little bit of both. I'm gonna line the outer portion of my lips with Cookie, and when I say outer, I meant inner. This actually is a very, very light shade, so I'm gonna say that for the center of my mouth. It smells really funky. Really funky. Do they all smell this way? Very painterly, not in a good way. Let's go for Dulce. Holy crap, these are identical shades. Wow, and even the formulas are kind of similar, even though this one is in a liquid lipstick format. But anyway, I love the shade. It is a beautiful shade. Just gonna grab a darker lip pencil and give myself a little bit more of a darker border. So I'm gonna go for the shade here called Bumble. I'm just gonna outline the corners ever so slightly. I also totally forgot about these Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Shine On lipsticks. They've been hanging out at my table for the past couple of videos, and for some reason, I just forget to reach for them. But anyway, let's grab a little bronzer. This is perfect, actually. So I have this new KEVYN AUCOIN Lights Up Sculpt and Blush Duo. And in this duo, we have the Sculpting Powder in the shade Medium. I use this one all the time in its original packaging, and this is like one of my favorite sculpting powders. So I'm gonna use this crown brush, sculpting brush, just a bit of chisel to my forehead, a bit of dimension, a bit into the hairline, just to add some color. Right here in the back of the cheekbone is where I really like to hit up. Across the jaw, right here. Very subtle, but very effective. And boom, final look, here we come. Overall, I think I was really able to make all these products work, even though some of these textures and some of these formulas weren't really cooperating all that great. I'm talking about the TRESLUCE eyeshadows, although the shades were super stunning, and I was really excited to test these out. Unfortunately, the finish itself is just like a little too crinkly. It's a little too hard to blend out and make work, especially when you're blending colors and when you're using it with traditional pressed powder eyeshadows. But I think with the liner, I was kind of able to make it work somehow, but still up close, it's not as cute as from afar. Let's just put it that way. What else? ColourPop. Once again, they have tons of new collections, from lip liners to Lippie Stix to tons of eyeshadow palettes in pretty much every single color category. Unfortunately, I didn't even get a chance to test out this Smoke and Roses palette, but I definitely will save it for another video. Overall, I sometimes just feel a little bit too overwhelmed by all the collections that ColourPop comes out with. All at the same time, I don't really know what to reach for, and I guess like my eyes and my mind goes everywhere. But I will say that their Lippie Stix and their lip pencils are really good quality, though the one that I'm wearing today smelled really weird and funky, so just bear that in mind. Really, really, really excited about the Laura Lee Los Angeles Blush Aesthetic palette. I think this is a really beautiful, well put together blush palette with tons of options for every single skin tone and undertone. I am loving the variety. I like the pigmentation. It's not too much, and it's just enough for it to be a beautiful wearable blush look. So this palette I really like. The Pure X NABELA Embrace Your Face palette is very wearable to me. It's not super in your face. It's not very bold, but it is good for every day. The colors do seem very wearable. Even the highlighter that I tried here, it's subtle. It's not really crazy at all. Actually, do you even see it on my face at this point? Maybe I need to put on a little bit more. There it is. Okay. Still a very, very subtle highlighter, not super in your face. And I guess that's a little bit surprising to me because I am used to pretty blinding highlighters from Pure Cosmetics. I have tried some of their palettes in the past where the highlighters were very, very beaming. So this is different for them, but it is in collaboration, so this is the collab take on the highlighter. Anyway, I'll definitely dip into that a little bit more in another video. I am excited to try some more of the stuff that I have here on my desk. It's a lot. More from Jouer, more from Makeup Forever, more from Lunar Beauty, Artist Couture, so many different brands. So because this is the end of the year, I am definitely in that mode of testing out as much makeup as I can so that I can compile those lists of the best of makeup of 2021. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I am going to model my final look one more time and then I'm gonna say farewell. I will see you guys in my next video. Definitely let me know what you want to see me review in the best of series. Is it lipsticks? Is it eyeshadow palettes? Is it foundation? What else are you excited for? Comment down below and let me know. All right, you guys, zooming on out so that you can check out more of my videos right here and right here. Click 'em. Peace.